I am audible?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So thanks to Indian Chemical Council for organizing this wonderful ICC Sustainability Conclave. I feel that this forum happens to be a peculiar. Last time also I attended, and I like this because on this forum, policymakers also get invited. So in morning session, we found that people from the ministry, policy making sites were there, and also the chemical manufacturer industries happens to be there. So it's very good forum, and I will take opportunity of this forum to request policy makers that we should try to frame the policy which can be practical, feasible, and also aligned with the international standards. And some of the example which I used to find when I interact with the industry and several people in the chemical industry, some of the policies, like one environment clearance policy related to notified industrial estate. I think that need to be relooked because industrial estate already it is notified and EIA has been done. So again and again doing EIA for all the EC, there I think we can save the time and do the speedy process by putting all the industry from A to B2 category, like we have done for pharma last year. Second is on ZLD, we need to revisit. ZLD is not mandatory anywhere in the world, and especially those area like we have several industry at Bharuch area, especially Ankleshwar, Jagadia. A very good CETP is there, very good deep sea discharge facility is there. So I think in those situations, we don't see that making ZLD mandatory will serve the process. A part of this, I think the third thing is the deep sea discharge standard. There also we need to align with the international standard, especially US EPA standard is there for the deep sea discharge. That may be a reference point, and we can align our deep sea discharge standard. So this is about the request to policymakers. And to industry, I want to request that yes, we should be very careful, and sustainability is for the profitability of business. And we should must embed sustainability. While embedding sustainability in industrial operation, I think we should consider triple bottom line. Triple bottom line means we should include environmental dimension, we can include governance dimension, and also we can include social dimension. And I shall share you a case study at UPL, how we have embedded sustainability and how UPL has embedded triple bottom line in their sustainability strategy. A part of this, I think in operation, I feel that sustainability may be embedded in process, procurement, also in the operation and packaging and wastewater treatment. In all these areas, we need to embed the sustainability. Like if you see operation, there we need to embed such that we can reduce the environment footprint of operation. Environment footprint reduction means reduce the water consumption, reduce the specific CO2 emission, reduce the waste generation. And in procurement, we should must have a sustainable procurement policy in place, and we should must have target to procure sustainably. And in wastewater treatment and solid waste management, a lot of now good technologies are available, and we can embed and we can get a better result. So I think this is about the embedding sustainability inside operation. I think today the main challenge before chemical industry is this, that we need to align our sustainability strategy with the SDG and Paris Agreement on climate change, because that we need to fully aligned with SDG and Paris Agreement on climate change. And if we will not align our sustainability strategy with the SDG and Paris Agreement on climate change, then I think that cost of inaction will be higher than cost of action. And so we should revisit and relook. So let me share presentation. In this presentation, I shall share case study of UPL. Let me see. No. Is it coming? So presentation is coming?
Not as yet, no.
Mm-hmm. So someone can help sharing from there, because I want to share, but it's let me again try. Just- the PowerPoint presentation is there. So, so if so, I think before it's coming on the screen, in my presentation, what I think now it's start coming. Just click it. Okay, fine. So now it is shareable. So it is coming on a screen. Hello?
It's coming, Mr.
Okay.
Chaubey, Dr. Chaubey.
Okay, fine. So I shall take few minutes to just take you through the case study on embedding the sustainability inside UPL. And I shall take you first slide. I shall share with my experience with sustainability, and then how we have embedded sustainability inside UPL, that I shall discuss, and then some of the recent successes I shall show in this presentation, and then we will see that what goals and target UPL has set up for the sustainability. So before going to detailed presentation, this is about the company UPL, which I am going to represent in this sustainability conclave. I am heading globally environment and sustainability of UPL. As you know, UPL is a world leader in organics, biological, and natural products for the farmers. We are the fifth largest agrochemical company of the world. We are also logo holder of Responsible Care and FTSE for Good. Recently, one of the premium sustainability rating agency from the Netherlands, Sustainalytics, has rated UPL number one on the sustainability among the agrochemical companies globally. Our presence is more than 130 countries. And at our sustainability strategy, one of the big things we have done is we have committed to reduce our 30% environment footprint by 2025. So first target we taken in 2016, and from 2016 to 2020, we have already achieved 30% reduction of our operation environment footprint. And now we have taken a new target that from 20 baseline, we will reduce the environment footprint in 25, 30%. This is the slide where I want to show my experience with sustainability. So first between 2011 to 2016, I was sustainability in charge of Unilever. Unilever was a FMCG company. So there also we embedded sustainability, and we found that because of reduction of CO2 emission, energy bill reduction, water bill reduction, waste disposal reduction, nearly we saved 100 million US dollar saving we achieved. At UPL from 2016 to 20, I am looking and embedding the sustainability, and we are driving the sustainability where we are committed to reduce 30% environment footprint of our operation, and we did it between 2016 and 20. Now we have another more further target we have taken to reduce 30%. But in 2016-20, when we reduced the environment footprint 30%, then we found that it also result in saving of nearly 45 million US dollar energy bill, water bill, and the waste bill. So with this data, what I want to show that in the last 1 decade, what my experience with big multinational is that sustainability is for the profitability of business. Now, this is the next slide where you can see that how we have embedded sustainability inside UPL. And you can see there are 5 things we did. And first, we embedded triple bottom line approach in our sustainability strategy. And triple bottom line approach means we have considered environmental dimension, we have considered social dimension, and we have considered governance dimension in our sustainability strategy. And social dimension means more focused on HR, safety, and SDGs. So we have included triple bottom line first in our sustainability strategy. Then we have implemented very good policy and management system related to sustainability. So several sustainability policy we have implemented inside UPL, then sustainable procurement policy, human right policy, HSE policy, product stewardship policy, tax policy. So all these policy related to governance, social, and also environment we have framed because we believe that sustainability can drive from the top. So there should be a commitment, there should be drive from the top. Your policy and management system should be in place, your target should be in place, then only you can able to drive sustainability. And that we have done inside the UPL, and so why we resulted in very good result by embedding the sustainability. Third thing we incorporated that we have brought sustainability reporting in place. So from various years, I think more than 4 or 5 years, regularly we are publishing sustainability report as per GRI guidelines, and it is assured by the third party. And in sustainability report, we used to report everything, that what we have done in 1 year, what is our policy, what is our target, what is our achievement, what we have done. So we have kept everything in the public domain such that everyone able to know that what we are doing. And also we have conducted identification of our material issues, and those material issues has been identified, and that has been put in sustainability report. And every year we used to report that what action we are taking against each material issues which has been identified. Fourth things, we have certification. So one certification from Responsible Care. So we are very old member of ICC Responsible Care, and we are the logo holder, and we feel that the Responsible Care certification has helped us a lot because they have a very good standards in place, and ICC used to do the auditing of our operation. So Responsible Care helped a lot to UPL to improve the environmental and sustainability performance. Another certificate from the FTSE for Good. There also we are logo holder of FTSE for Good. And the fifth thing is we have got very good rating from the International Sustainability Rating Agency. So we used to participate in DJSI, FTSE Russell, and Sustainalytics. And Sustainalytics, which is from the Netherlands, they have rated us number one in sustainability globally among agrochemical companies recently. DJSI has also rated us much more above industry average and year over year. FTSE Russell has also rated us much more above industry average, and they have also given us to use FTSE for Good logo. So I think this is the slide which give you a flavor that how we have embedded sustainability inside our operation. And UPL adopted a structured approach towards sustainability, and we firmly believe that sustainability is the best opportunity for business to drive a smarter innovation and profitable growth. Now, some of the success story I can share, but in the interest of time, I will not go through in detail. But here, what we used to do, that we think that the technology play very important role in embedding sustainability, and we have a green cell. And in green cell, a lot of engineers, researchers, biologists, technocrats are working day and night only to develop and implement a green sustainable technology inside UPL. And here you can find some of the technology which are new for the chemical industry, especially a Scalvan, Volute, FO technology. You will find first time we have implemented. And DAF MBBR is popular from many years, but they are also, we have modified in such a way that it can deliver better result for the agrochemical companies. Next recent success is this sustainable wastewater treatment scheme. This scheme, the peculiarity is this, that in chemical industry, whether it is agrochemical or any chemical industry, the main problem is that the effluent happens to be complex. Some of the stream we get very low TDS, some of moderate TDS and COD, and some of stream are very difficult to treat. And unless until we segregate it, it is very difficult to achieve result and very difficult to treat the effluent. At UPL, we have adopted this principle that let first do the stream characterization, identification, and segregation. And at every our unit, we have done it, and we have differentiated the stream into green stream, yellow stream, and red stream. Green stream means TDS less than 5,000 ppm, which can be easily treatable by biological treatment process. Yellow stream, slightly difficult effluent, where the TDS is more than 5,000 but less than 10,000. COD is slightly higher, between 10,000 to 20,000. That we segregate as a yellow stream. And third, red stream, where very difficult effluent happens to be very high TDS, very high COD, and we segregate in three stream. We give appropriate treatment for all these three stream, and you can see in this treatment scheme that how we able to achieve the all recycling and reuse of effluent, and even 60% of our plant are zero liquid discharge plant. And by this way, we able to achieve very good result, and we able to manage the treatment of complex effluent inside agrochemical industry. So moving to the next, this is some of the sustainability performance at our manufacturing plant. So we able to reduce water which is sufficient to provide drinking water to 1.6 million people for 1 year. We have reduced CO2 emission in our operation, and that is equivalent to planting 35 million large tree to inhale CO2 in 1 year. We have also reduced waste going to landfill, and that is equivalent to nearly 9,000 full truck load. So a lot of work has been done to reduce the environment footprint inside our operation. And in monetary term, we have achieved the saving also out of this. And as beginning, I told you that nearly 45 million US dollar we able to save because of reduction of the water, CO2 and waste. So this is the sustainability performance of our operation. A part of this, we have a plan to use more and more renewable energy sources inside our operation. And at this moment of time, we have several green power purchase agreement, and 17% power in our largest two manufacturing plant comes from the renewable energy. We have a very good rainwater harvesting system in place inside our operation, where we used to collect the water and reuse inside the plant. At this moment of time, globally, 60% of our operation is zero liquid discharge. Now coming to the SDG, at UPL, we believe that our sustainability strategy must be aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals, which is their 17 goal. We have prioritized the SDG. So for our operation, our business, we have identified 5 priority SDG, and on those SDGs we are working, and our all goal and targets are revolving. And those 5 SDGs you can see in this slide. First is second SDG, zero hunger. Third is good health and well-being. 7th SDG is affordable and clean energy. And SDG number 9, industrial innovation. And SDG number 12, responsible consumption and production. So these 5 SDGs we have identified as a priority SDGs for the UPL, and we are working on these SDGs. Now here you can see these 4 goals which we have set up for our UPL for 2025. And first goal is reduce environment footprint. Second, our goal is enhance world food security. Third is enhance sustainable sourcing. And fourth is strengthen community well-being. And against each goal, we have set a clear target, and the target has been divided year over year. But for 2025, what is ultimate target that you can see that we want to reduce 30% environment footprint inside our operation by 2025 from baseline 2019-20. So that is one target for the reduce environment footprint. To enhance world food security, our target is that we will achieve 40% revenue from innovative and sustainable solution. So some of the solution like organics, we came for the farmers, and also one innovative product, Jeva, we have brought. So Jeva helped farmer to reduce the water in crop water consumption, as well as Jeva enhance the yield of the crop. So like that, our aim is that 40% of our product should be a sustainable and innovative solution, which will help the farmer to decrease the water, to decrease the energy, and to enhance the yield. Third, our aim is enhance sustainable sourcing. There we are making a very big drive on the sustainable procurement. So we have sustainable procurement policy in place, and we are also auditing our suppliers, and our aim is that at least 60% sourcing will be done from sustainable sources by 2025. And in strengthen community and well-being, we want to impact 3 million lives through livelihood, education, health, and sanitation. So on strengthen community well-being, a lot of work has been done, but I think in interest of time, I shall move, otherwise it will be more time. So I think the conclusion of my presentation is this, that sustainability is for the profitability of business. Sustainability is for 100% meeting the compliances inside operation. Sustainability is for the smarter innovation, and sustainability is for the environment protection. So I think we can say that sustainability is for the profit, sustainability is for the people, and sustainability is for the planet. So I think with this note, I shall end my presentation, and then question answer, I think we will take later on, or I don't know, later on or this.